Kendall, you want to jump into your spiel?
Oh, I thought you were going to do it. Welcome, everyone, to the May Open Council meeting. This is a working council meeting, and it is recorded for your later viewing. It's a super short update this month, and I will pass it to Kevius to give some context.
Right now we're in the pause/planning phase of the co-op right now. We collected a lot of information towards the development of the co-op, and we learned a lot of things. However, we realized there may still be some more questions because this is a huge development. It is planning to be in Midtown. And then we ran into, with respect to proceeding to the next stage of development, some internal differences where folks had different opinions, and ultimately some more things to clarify because we have a whole funder for the initiative. So in order to go forward, we have to address everything internally to make sure the team is ready to proceed forward. And we have to also make sure that translates over to the folks funding the project so that we could go forward in an efficient manner. And so with that, if we uncover more questions, which we're certainly getting to right now, that we need to ask the community that impacts how the co-op develops and how it lives in the community, then we will certainly circle back with those efforts to make sure we can go forward with everyone in line. But right now, we're seeking alignment across the board of the people who are putting the project together and the people who are funding it right now. And hopefully this period doesn't last long. We're able to jump into the next phase of construction, which the questions we ask community will help us uncover exactly what that looks like. Does that surmise it in a good way?
Okay, well, our brief updates. Let me see if I can pull up the doc. Oh, thanks. Should we still go around? I'll start with Community Integration Committee. We have started working on the Community Garden Initiative. We did a cleanup this past Saturday with a few co-op members and council members and staff, and it was a lot of fun. We were weeding, cleaning up the beds. So we're definitely looking for people to get involved in terms of coming to actually steward the garden, to help clean up, and also to help with the farm stand, which is going to start being on Wednesdays, which is a collective effort for everyone who is a part of the community garden. And the second thing we're going to be working on is our outdoor market initiative, which is still to be completely figured out, but will be in connection to the growing that we do at the garden. And we are definitely looking for people to get involved in the planning, and we want to know what everyone thinks this should look like and how it could be most beneficial to Midtown and to the nourishment of Kingston. So please reach out to me or Siobhan through email and let us know if you're interested in participating. And I'll pass it to Kevius for finance.
Sorry, before we do finance, do we want to jump into the member number updates of the and then the voting update from Siobhan?
Yeah, so we have 1,294 members, and within that, I don't believe our solidarity number has changed, but let me just get the exact one. 248 solidarity members. Within that, 1,294. And we have, Kevius, what did you want to know about the voting update?
Oh, we just didn't provide a formal update. So the bylaws passed what I think 94% in favor.
I didn't actually see the numbers, but yes, the bylaws did pass.
It was 96% in favor of the referenda questions, with the exception of the mission vision. Or it was 96 for mission vision, and the rest, the bylaws changes were like 98%. So if we say 96, that's good enough.
Average, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And we also have a community walk happening this Saturday at 11 a.m. We are going to meet at the co-op building, and this month's walk will be around Midtown. We're also going to stop and get something to eat on our walk. I don't know if I should say where yet, just because I want to confirm that it's going to be open at the right time. Otherwise, I have to figure out a plan B. But we are going to stop for a bite to eat in Midtown. go on a walk and hopefully visit the community garden site that Kendall was just talking about, so that our members can see where it is. They can see, you know, what we're working with at that space, and whether or not they want to get involved, which hopefully some more folks do. So that is all I have for updates in terms of the community garden. We'll be sending out a date to do another kind of like work day with our members where we invite people to come out and help weed. And I'm going to be getting some seedlings from the Y Farms seedling sale, which is happening on Thursday. And I think Kendall has some access to seedlings from KLT, which is awesome, or a Seed Song Farm, or both. So yeah, we're excited to get this thing going. That's all I have for updates though. So I'm gonna pass it back to you, Kiwius.
Yay. And I think I'm going to the I think it's a Seed Song Farm, like a festival event, right?
Is
So
that
you-
happening this weekend?
Is it? I don't know when it is. I was invited to it, but I'm looking forward to it. I hope we can.
Yeah,
We can
it's a nice farm. We took a co-op bike ride out there one time. It was really fun.
Oh, jeez.
So have fun.
I hope y'all are there. Because I'm like, where's the truth? All right, finance. I filled in this update for Sway. Sway had to tend to family matters, so I pulled the account balances. So right now our checking balance is 53,785. I rounded up to the nearest dollar. Our savings balance is 6,818, and that also encompasses member equity. So any member equity that gets pulled from that sum, and other work that finance has done, because we tapped into member equity to cover capital's project expenses and operating expenses until we got the replenishment of our funds. We submitted the grant request for those funds, got confirmation today that it's been approved and that the funds are on their way. So we'll be able to replenish all of those balances and have a really good sort of like number again starting next month. I filled out Capital's project, Victoria. Would you like to jump into it and maybe add some things that I think I missed definitely on this?
I'm not sure what last month's update was, but yeah, essentially, the capital project has been put on pause. So over the course of the last month, we've really just been trying to facilitate the necessary behind the scenes conversations and planning sessions in order to line up steps to get to, you know, the direction that we're looking for the decisions that we're going to need in order to go into the next phase. I think, yeah, everything else is kind of tied, I guess, to other committees. You know, our funding went through, so we've been able to, we'll be able to pay everyone up to date. There hasn't been much else, just with everything else going on.
Yeah, perfecto. I could jump into biz dev, and this one's pretty simple. So outside of just tending to the pause needs and understanding what that means for all the information that we've developed thus far, I did pull out some things in our performance that could help us in planning. But then the second big thing is, as we mentioned, like in a few, I think, meetings earlier, we wanted to revisit the expansion of the shared storage program. And so for that, coach Thrive On Network to figure out exactly what that looks like. So in order for the co-op team to develop an MOU for that partner work to happen, we at Thrive On began to figure out what exactly that model looks like, and would it uphold is a big question that we have right now for whatever the co-op plans to do or to develop next. So that's the extent to what we're doing in BizDev, figuring out how that partnership would look to understand the size and scale at which a shared program needs to operate at. In governance, Lindsay, would you like to?
Can I ask a quick question?
Yep.
Like I know we had been talking about building out the committee of biz dev folks. Where are we at with that? Is that on pause? Like what was communicated to folks?
So are you talking about Alan and so we have two people on the committee who've been kind of like on a pause, and they know that we're circling back as soon as we have a development route like set in stone. But we do have folks on the committee. They do have a structure for stipends figured out. And they've poured through all the materials thus far and have landed on exactly where they would like to contribute. Now it's like taking their capacity that they said they want to have and the expertise they're bringing to the table. They've recommended a couple people to be added to the Biz Dev committee, but we haven't moved forward on that. But as soon as we have direction and we can put them in, then we could better choose who those next people are, because we would recognize the gaps in our knowledge and actively have something to progress towards. Does that satisfy that question?
Yeah, thanks.
Governance.
Uh,
No.
I'll do the governance, I suppose. Basically, we need to continue offboarding Lindsay and making sure that all of the roles and responsibilities and knowledge that Lindsay has stays with the council after she sadly departs us. So that is one thing we need to work on. Also, Siobhan, of course, was elected to the council, so onboarding will begin in June for Siobhan and making sure she's up to speed. Also just figuring out the lanes of activities now that we have a staff member who's also a council member. There's a lot we need to figure out there. So that'll be some work that's done. And yeah, we already know the new bylaws are in effect. So I think that is most of our governance stuff right now.
Yeah. And just to add one note around the bylaws, so as part of the new approved bylaws, we can utilize the worker owner seats that previously we were unable to utilize. So that might be one route to expand the capacity of the council as well. So we'll be having conversations about appointments potentially to some of those seats so that we can bring more people into building the project.
Yeah, thank you. And does anyone else have any new business to share? If not, well, we have no one here with us live. So if you have any questions after watching this video, you can always email them to council@kingstonfoodcoop.com and we can answer them there or in the next newsletter. And thank you for watching.